So, good day po everyone. Um, yan. Ito po yung survey na pinagawa po sa amin, which is yung community profiling and needs assessment. So, I have 40 responses. And among those 40 responses, most of the responses shows the interest of fundamentals of computer. So, because of that, I made a report or tutorial about fundamentals of computer. So, let's start. There. Fundamentals of computer. Of course, from the word itself, fundamentals, certain point or center of importance. And also computer. Let's define first what is computer. A computer is an electronic device operating under the control of instructions stored in its own memory. These instructions tell the machine what to do. The computer is capable of accepting data or input, processing data arithmetically and logically, producing output from the processing, and storing the result for future use. Most computers that sit on a desktop are called personal computers. So sa computer po, ito po yung tinatawag na, ito yung ginagamit natin mostly ngayon. Yung technology na ating ginagamit. It is an electronic device po. There. Next, computer can be defined or described as machine or device which can work with information such as store, retrieve, manipulate, and process data. The term computer is derived from the word computere. The word is derived from a Latin word which means to calculate. Therefore, a computer can be further defined as a programmable machine that is used for some numerical calculations. So, sabi dito, yung computer, siya yung machine siya na nagpo-process siya ng pag-i-store ng data, pagre-retrieve ng data, pag-manipulate, at kung paano na-process yung data or yung information. Yan. Computer fundamentals can be described as the learning or studying some basic functions of computer starting from their origin to the modern day. Study of basic computer types to their characteristics, advantages, and disadvantages are included in the learning of fundamentals of computers. So, sinasabi po dito, yung learning about computer fundamentals, which is yung ginagawa natin ngayon, inaaral natin yung basic functions ng computers. Nagsisimula siya sa history, kung saan nagwala yung computer, yung generation ng computer, yung mga year kung kailan nagawa yung mga unang computer, and yung mga fathers of computer, parang something like that po, which is nagko-consist ng advantages and disadvantages kung bakit nabuo yung computer. Yeah. Uses of computers. Wait. Check ko lang po kung nagre-record. There. Uses of computers, yung gamit ng computer. People use computers in many ways. Business. Computers are used to track inventories with barcodes and scanners. Check the credit status of customer and transfer funds electronically homes. Tiny computers embedded in the electronic circuitry of most appliances control the indoor temperature, operate home security systems, tell the time, and turn video cassette recorders or VCRs on and off. Automobiles regulate the flow of fuel, thereby increasing gas mileage. They also entertain creating digitized sound on stereo systems or computer animated features from a digitally encoded laser disc. So computer programs or application exist to aid every level of education, from programs that teach simple addition or sentence construction to programs that teach advanced calculus. Educators use computers to track grades and communicate with students. With computer-controlled projection units, they can add graphics, sounds, and animation to their communications. Computers are extensively in scientific research to solve mathematical problems, investigate complicated data, or model systems that are too costly or impractical to build, such as testing the airflow around the next generation of aircraft. The military employs computers in sophisticated communication to encode and unscramble message and to keep track of personnel and supplies. So sinasabi po dito, yung uses ng computers ay napakarami, which is makakatulong sa atin. It's either in a good way or in a bad way. There are some bad ways like yung mga hacking, paggagawa ng virus, pagkakalat ng virus, something like that. But there are also good ways of uses of computer. When in terms of businesses, there are yung pagka-calculate ng mga funds mo, yung finance ng company nyo, or pwede namang sa kunwari school works, yan, meron siyang use. Wait, masyado nag-advance yung next is history of computing. So this is yung types ng mga first computers. Yan. First is yung first first is yung abacus, which is nag-start nung negative 2,500 BC or nung earlier BCs po, earlier 25th BCs, I mean 2500 BCs. Yan, abacus ang tawag. And then meron ding Napier's bone, which is nung year ng 2500 BC, na in-invent ni John Napier's or Napier's. Ayan. Third is yung slide rule, which is nung time ng 1600s AD. And next, Pascal mechanical calculator, 1600. Leibniz mechanical, I guess it's silent, Leibniz mechanical multiplier nung 1600s. Tapos Kolmaris calculator. Okay, so nag-lock ko yung laptop. Ayan. Okay, standard. Wait lang po.
Hinahan na naman si Pito ang plastic doon, no? Hinangat-ngat.
Ayan, so continue na po tayo. Masyado malayo na yun. So, next is yung ating last natin is yung Kolmaris calculator, punch card machine, next, ng 1800s, mechanical computer by Charles Babbage, which is noong 1700s to 1800s. And last, yung Herman Hollerith or Hollerith system punch card reader machine noong 1860 to 1929. Yan. So, there are generations of computer. First generation, nagsimula noong 1940 to 1956, which is yung tinatawag nating vacuum tubes. Second generation is yung 1956 to 1963 na tinatawag naman natin transistors. Sa third generation naman, noong 1964 to 1971 na tinatawag nating integrated circuits. Fourth generation, 1971 to present or tinatawag nating microprocessors. Fifth generation, which is yung ngayon or sa susunod ngayon and sa susunod pang mga year ay tinatawag nating artificial intelligence or yung AI. So we're going to talk about software and hardware. Hardware is the term given to the physical components of a computer. Example, keyboard, monitor, system box or floppy disk drive. Software, on the other hand, is electronic information, file operating systems, graphics, computers, programs are all example of software. The difference between hardware and software reflects a duality between the physical and mental worlds. For example, your brain is hardware, where your mind is software. Kasi sinasabi po dito yung hardware, siya yung mga kinakabit sa labas. And kapag sinabi naman nating software, ibig sabihin yung program na nangyayari doon sa mismong hardware natin. Yung hardware natin is yung parang pagkakabit ng mouse, ng keyboard, yon ng mga. Then, kapag software naman ang pinag-uusapan, yung mga program na ginagawa natin doon sa mismong computer. Like yung mga Excel, yung mga ginagamit natin, yung paggagawa ng websites, yan. Hardware are those components or physical pieces, things you can touch that make up the computer. Yan. Nabanggit na natin yung kanina. Software, yan yung mga basics. Yan, Microsoft Word. Yan, movies. Yan, Adobe machine. Yan, something like that. Yan. Different parts of computer and their uses. So, sa computer, meron siyang mga parts. The standard computer consists of a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, and the system unit. One can be attached accessories such as printers and scanners by means of ports. Increasingly in the workplace, computers are connected to printers and other computer by means of a network.
Ibrahim, saan mo ito binili tong beer na to? Ba't hindi mo
Ito
pa
po yung
binabalik?
ito po yung tinatawag natin yung parts ng computer. Ito yung tinatawag na monitor. Yan. Itong screen na to. And then yung central processing unit, which is yung the brain ng computer. Random access memory or yung RAM natin. Processor. Ito. And joystick, which is yung old version ng mouse. And it's a type of mouse something. Speaker for sound, yung mouse, and floppy disk, CD-ROM, hard drive, and the keyboard. Yan yung figure ng ating computer system hardware. The monitor, this is the visual display unit. There are various technologies for display unit, cathode ray tube, or liquid crystal display, or yung LCD, or electroluminescent screens, or the projector. The monitor screen displays your work. So, ito yung model or photo ng ating monitor. Pag sinabing monitor, siya yung mismong head ng ating computer. Next, the system box or computer console. The system box is where all computations that the computer performs takes place. Inside are the CPU processor, the motherboard, the hard disk, and any network sound cards, memory chips or RAM, printer ports. Yan. So, dito sa system box natin, tinutukoy dito yung this one, yung nasa photo. Kung saan nag-a-attach tayo ng mga USB, ng CD, ng memory cards. Yan. Or, kinoconnect natin yung ating mga printers. Tapos, sa loob niyan, makakita nyo yung motherboard. Yan. Which is yung nagko-control sa ating computer. Next is keyboard, which is yung pressing. Sa keyboard, this is the basic input device. It is one of ways you can tell the computer what to do. So, dito sa keyboard na to, yung, naka-apply dyan yung mga letters, numbers, symbols, na gusto mong i-type doon sa ating software. So, ito, si keyboard, siya yung tinatawag na hardware. And kapag nag-type ka, yung tinype mo dun sa itong mga letters na nakikita niyo dito, siya yung tinatawag na software. Ito yung mga character keys dun sa keyboard, letters, numbers, symbols, yan. So, ito is about, lang to, about sa keyboard lang, yung action keys, application dependent keys, key combination, tapos yung mga shortcuts. Madami yan, but I can't iterate or enumerate all of them. Next is mouse, which is yung clicking and dragging. Itong nakikita nyong gumagalaw, siya yung mouse natin. I mean yung software ng mouse na nagagawa ng mouse, which is nakiklik ko and nadadrag ko. Yan. This is another input device used to small white arrow pointer. Ito yung white arrow pointer na cursor na hinaano. By pointing, siya yung tinutukoy natin para mag-point tayo kung ano yung gusto nating galawin or i-click or i-drag. Yon. Tapos merong button sa mouse which is i-click natin and magra-run yung ating software. Yan. So, there are types of computers. First is yung analog computer. This system were the first type to be produced. It is an electronic machine capable of performing arithmetic functions on numbers which are represented by some physical quantities such as temperature, pressure, voltage, etc. Yung analog, nagre-refer siya sa mga circuits or numerical values to a continuous range. Popular analog computer used in the 20th century was the slide rule. Yung kaninang type ng computer na natin. Next is digital computers. Virtually all modern computers are digital. Digital refers to the processes in computers that manipulate binary. Yung mga 01, 001, 0011, 001, which represents switches that are turned on or off by electrical current. It's a type yan ng computers, digital computers. Next is hybrid computer. This is when a computer makes of both analog and digital. Mix nung dalawa nating naunang type ng computer, components, and techniques such as computer require analog to digital and digital to analog converter, which will make analog and digital palatable to read. The basic classification nowadays uses the following. Yan. Ito yung tinatawag natin desktop, which is yung computer mismo. Kasi yung iba, hindi natin matatawag na desktop. Like yung laptop, hindi natin siya matatawag na desktop. A computer is referred to as desktop when it is excuse me, when it is relatively small enough to be positioned on top of a table where a person is working. Such as computer can be also placed on the floor or somewhere under or aside of the table, in which case the monitor, ito yung monitor, ito, monitor, kasi ito yung ating computer system, is, yan. Ito yung mga ginagamit mostly sa office, yung sa call center, yan. Next is laptop. Ito yung sinasabi ko magkaiba sila. A computer is called laptop when it combines the CPU and the monitor and the keyboard and the mouse in one unit. So, masasabi natin siyang laptop kasi combination na lahat. Nandiyan na yung monitor, yung keyboard, tapos yung motherboard nasa ilalim, nasa loob niyan. Tapos yung monitor nandiyan na rin, and yung mouse nandiyan na rin. Siya yung tinatawag nating laptop. Para siya yung yung laptop siya yung masasabi nating feasible or madaling dalhin kung saan saan. Next is the server or yung ating computer system. A server is a computer that holds information that other computers called workstations can retrieve, such as workstations are connected to the server using various means. So, ito yung tinatawag nating parang computer system, which is yan, no, nakikita nyo sa photo. Diyan kinakabit yung mga ports, yung mga sa speakers, mic, which is nakakapag-retrieve tayo dyan ng mga information. Yun. Ito yung mainframe. A mainframe is a computer usually physically big that does almost all the jobs for other types of computers that are connected to it. This is a broad definition, by other aspects are involved like yung server. Dito natin matutukoy yung server, yung program or yung operating system na nag-run doon sa ating mainframe. Nakadepend na nagde-define ng kanyang role. Yan. Computer hardware. So, yan. Sinabi na natin kanina. Computer hardware consists of components that can be physically handled. It refers to the physical units or machine of functional units which make up the computer configuration, which is done to suit goals and objectives of the user. So, sa ating computer hardware, ito yung mga makikita mo sa labas ng computer, yung mga naikakabit, yung mga like yung CPU, and yung mga printers, mouse, yung mga ganon. Yun ang tinatawag natin yung hardware, yung mga keyboard. Yan. Ito yung mga example, I guess, or iba.
Tumawag ka dyan, ibalik mo tong mga
Ito
bote
yung
na to.
computer is made up of 5 disc. Okay. So, tinutukoy dito is yung 5 discrete elements of computer hardware, which is yung CPU, ay Central Processing Unit, tama, CPU, input unit, output unit, storage unit, the communication network, and external world. Example na lang dito is yung motherboard. Motherboard is a printed circuit board that connects other components through the use of traces or electrical pathways. Yung itsura ng motherboard, kung alam niyo yung kunwari yung parang map ng BGC, yung ganon. Parang may mga nakatayong building, ganon yung itsura ng ating motherboard na makikita niyo sa loob ng ating CPU. Yan. Central Processing Unit, yung CPU. This is the main brain. Sinabi ko kanina, yung CPU, siya yung brain or yung brain ng computer na nag-a-accept ng data, nagpe-perform ng mga operations, tapos naglalabas ng mga data. Yun. Next, input devices. Input unit consists of external device, so that components. Yan. So, sa input devices, meron siyang mga example dito, which is yung keyboard, mouse, yung mga ini-input natin sa mismong computer. Yan. Keyboard, mouse, light pen, joystick, scanner, microphones, optical
Tumawag ka dyan.
character
Mukha
reader
ka
or
naman babalik
LCR.
nito.
Yan. Next.
Tumawag ka dyan at bumili ka ng ano.
Ito yung mga kanilang
Ice.
meaning. Light pen is yung parang pen siya na
Alis ka dyan. Alis ka dyan.
light
Alis ka dyan.
sensitive na pen. Yung next is mouse, yung pointing device, joystick. Yan, para ma-navigate mo yung parang ganito. And then keyboard,
Yung ilaw
which
dito
is
sa
yung
ano,
letters,
itutuloy na buksan,
tapos
ha?
optical
Yung
scanner,
sa banyo.
microphone,
May tubig
yung para
yan,
sa
malamang.
voice, and recordings, mga
Eh,
ganon,
kung hindi po
and
putok
yung
yan.
modem. Next is output devices. Sila yung nagko-consist ng hardware that transfer information from the computers or CPU to the computer user. Na-i-include na rin dito yung monitor, printers, plotters, or speaker. Video graphic adapter. This is a device that converts information generated by the computer into visual information called monitor. Yan. Printers. Information and graphics processed or produced with the aid of computer are printed out as hard copy. So dito natin sa printers, siya yung tinutukoy natin, parang syempre pag nagpa-print tayo, yung mga letters na ginawa mo on software, mapaprint siya on hardware, kaya siya tinawag na hard copy. So kapag sinabi naman soft copy, which is yung file pa lang na nasa ating computer. So may mga types ng printers, yung dot matrix printers, laser printers, inkjet, at marami pang iba. Plotters. Computer output to microfilm or fichier or comb, which process information on rolls of film, drum plotter or slide film, o yung
Ibrahim!
flatbed plotter.
May sayos ka mamaya, puyat ka na naman.
Storage devices. Storage devices provides permanent storage of information and program for retrieval by the computer. May two main types yung ating storage devices, which is yung disk drives and memory. There are several types of disk drives naman, which is yung tinatawag na hard disk drive, floppy disk, magneto, optical, and compact disk. Yan. Ito yung mga meaning ng ating storage systems. I mean yung mga storage devices. Yan. Hard disk drive, floppy disk drive, magneto, optical disk, drives, compact disk drives, digital video disc or yung DVD, flash drives or yung tinatawag yung USB, pero hindi po siya totally tinatawag na USB. Kasi ang tawag po doon is flash drive. Yan. And memory cards na yung sinasalpak natin sa ating cellphone, tablets, yun. Computer software. Software is the set of instructions that tells the computer what to do and when to do. The computer uses these instructions to manipulate data and enhance the proper functioning of the hardware components. So sinasabi sa computer software, tayo yung main medium. Yung syempre, paano natin ma-apply yung sa ating computer, like yung mga pag sinabi kasi nating software, siya yung mga program na nakikita natin sa mismong screen or monitor ng ating computer. Yung something like Microsoft, yung mga ganon, Microsoft Word, Windows, yung mga yan, Google Chrome, yung files, yung pagsisave ng files, yung mga ganon po. So, system software, siya yung nagre-refer dun sa set of programs na nagpa-facilitate kung ano yung paggamit sa ating hardware systems by coordinating them. It consists of programs that start up the computer and perform some utility. So, dito sa system software, dito na tinutukoy yung ating dito na tinutukoy yung ating system, which is yung parang
Tignan ko nga muna.
Windows 10, Windows 7, mga ganun. Siya na yung operating system, utility software, yung language translator. Operating system. An operating system is a program that acts, yan. Ito yung mga ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. The Windows or MacOS, yan.
Services Corporation.
So, yun lang po yung basics ng ating
Ang dami pala yun.
fundamentals of computers. Marami pa pong iba, but I can
Mamaya website
enumerate
talaga
all of
yung
them.
Ha?
And
Website.
that's all. Thank you po.
Website talaga.
Ano raw eh, dito raw
Thank
sa
you
may
po.
kulay pula raw eh. Yung katulad ng